Dodgers address their needs at the trade deadline. What does that mean? That's next. This episode of Think Blue is brought to you by SeatGeek. Listen, it's the summertime, it's warm, which means it's time for baseball. We're late in July, we're getting to August, dog days of summer, but there's still time to see your favorite ball club in your favorite city. Whether you're from LA, Chicago, New York, it don't matter. At checkout, use the promo code ATD. That's ATD, just 3 letters. And you'll get $20 off your first purchase from SeatGeek. Use it, or if you don't want to use it on baseball, you can use it on concerts. You can use it on other sporting events. College football's coming back soon. The NFL's coming back soon. Later down the line, we got the NHL and the NBA coming back. Use the promo code. It'll help you a lot. It's helped me save some money, and you can see your favorite artist, team for good price. Use the promo code ATD from SeatGeek. All right, it's currently 5:05 Pacific time here in Los Angeles. As you can clearly see, it's just myself. Or if you're listening to this, it's just me. It's just me. I've been wanting to do this for a couple weeks now, and I think I'm going to as we get down the stretch. Think Blue. I don't want to officially call this a podcast, but it's like a little video mini-series where I will be... The original plan of this was I'm going to react after every Dodger postseason game, win or loss. It is currently July 30th. The postseason is not for another 2 months, but basically after anything significant up until the postseason, I'm going to come on here and just give my little reaction to it. I'm not going to be rambling on here for a half hour or 45 minutes. I'll do maybe 10 to 15 at the max, just giving my thoughts, and we're going to start right here with the trade deadline. So just giving you a heads up, you will not see one next week unless there's something significant that happens. But my plan is just to give my reaction to things of my favorite team. If you don't know by now, I'm a Dodgers fan. I live in LA. So this means a lot to me. But trade deadline. The Dodgers address their needs at the deadline. It took a while. It went pretty much until the buzzer at the 3 p.m., 6 p.m. on the East Coast deadline to get something. Now, they had made moves prior to the deadline today, but the big thing that this team needed to address was starting pitching. Needed to address it. And it's crazy because they spent $1 billion this past offseason to get Shohei Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, a sign-and trade, and an extension to Tyler Glasnow. And it's still not enough at the trade deadline. It's crazy how this sport works, doesn't it? Injuries have bit this team yet again. Obviously, Mookie Betts is on the shelf, but looking at this pitching rotation, very thin. Not anymore, but it's very thin. Yamamoto's been out since June. Tyler Glasnow, he's done a good job of staying healthy. He did miss a couple weeks during the All-Star break, and he missed one start after. But you got to be careful with him. Gavin Stone, fantastic this season, but at some point, he's going to have a little bit of a regression. At some point. And then Clayton Kershaw, who just had his first start last Thursday against the Giants. Looked okay. I don't expect him to be Vincent Kershaw anytime soon, but if he continues to improve and pitch well, he will definitely be a postseason option. But the point is, at this deadline, you needed another starter. Maybe 2, but you should definitely get 1. And the 2 big names that were, well, really the big 3 names that were floating around there was Garrett Crochet from the White Sox, Tarek Skubal from the Detroit Tigers, and the same team that he shares the rotation with, Jack Flaherty. And that's who the Dodgers got today, Jack Flaherty. I like it. He is going to be right at almost the near top of the rotation. He's not going to be a number one because I think that's Glasnow's, but he'll fit somewhere in between that 2 and 3 slot. I think it goes Glasnow in a postseason series. I think right now your rotation is Glasnow, Flaherty, Yamamoto, and a mixture of either Gavin Stone or Clayton Kershaw. Let's see how Kershaw finishes the rest of the regular season, and let's see how Gavin Stone continues to pitch. I didn't even mention Walker Buehler or Bobby Miller. They have been pretty much unusable this season. Walker Buehler came back in early June. Hasn't looked good. Bobby Miller got hurt in a second or third start of the season. And he came back in June, and he hasn't been the same since. So starting pitching was a big problem, and it needed to be addressed. And I think Andrew Friedman did a great job of that today. Last year, your big free agent, your big trade deadline acquisition was Lance Lynn. We saw how that ended. Couldn't do that again. And for a second there, it looked like the Dodgers were just going to we're just going to roll with these guys and hope these guys get healthy. You never want to mess with that. Go get the guy that's for sure you know is going to pitch every fifth day. And Jack Flaherty has been very good this season. The record may not seem like it. He's 7-5, but he has an under 3 ERA. It's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good to me. Dodgers also address depth, bench problems, and they address the bullpen a little bit. They had a 3-team trade yesterday, which saw Miguel Vargas leave, which that sucks, because it really felt like after Justin Turner left in 2022 that he was going to be the guy to come in and be the everyday third baseman for the coming years. Didn't really pan out like that. He was in the minor leagues by last All-Star break. They get Tommy Edman from the Cardinals. They get Michael Kopech from the White Sox. They bring back an old friend, Ahmed Rosario, who he was on the Dodgers last year. And they bring in Kevin Kiermaier, who defensively is one of the best defensive center fielders statistically ever in the game. So for Andrew Friedman, this trade deadline is a B+ for me. It's an 8 out of 10. You can almost say an A-, just because they got Tommy Edman, Michael Kopech, Ahmed Rosario, Kevin Kiermaier, Jack Flaherty, and they addressed all their needs. Bullpen, guys off the bench, depth problems, and they address a starting pitching issue. And it's taxed this bullpen, the lack of starting pitching. So this is a B+, 8 out of 10 trade deadline for Brandon Gomez and Andrew Friedman. Now if you're the Dodgers, get healthy. Can you get Mookie Betts back in there? Can we get Miguel Rojas back in there? Can we get Yamamoto back in there? Can Kershaw continue to pitch well? Get your bullpen right. Get Evan Phillips right. And the Dodgers were in on a lot of other guys too. Tanner Scott went to San Diego. They gave up a haul for that dude. Crazy. Dodgers were in on him, which pushed the Padres to probably be more aggressive. But the Dodgers addressed their needs. I love it. Now you just have to get healthy. That is the main thing. And the thing that I like, and I'll touch on this and then I'll get out of here. The thing that I like so far about this season, it's not coming easy for the Dodgers. I know the record kind of says otherwise because they are currently right now 63-44. They're 19 games over 500. They're in first place. They have the second best record in the National League. But the San Diego Padres are only 6.5 games out. And all it takes is for the Dodgers to have one bad week and the Padres to have one good week. And we have a division race again. So I like the fact that the Dodgers are going to have to earn it a little bit this year. Not to mention the Arizona Diamondbacks, who I thought they were dead in the water a month ago. They're on a resurgence here. And they currently are in a wild card spot, and they're only 7 games out of the division. I like the fact that the Dodgers are getting some competition in the division. I still think the Dodgers are going to run away with this division, but it's not coming easy. And this team has not played at their full potential, I believe. I still think there's another level that this team can go to. Now, part of it has been there's been a lot of injuries. And a lot of part of it has just been some bad play. Gavin Lux was having a down year until 2 weeks ago. Mookie Betts has been out. Freddie Freeman had a slow start. But I like the fact that this Dodger team has to earn it a little bit this time. Because it's been too easy the last couple of years. They've been spoon-fed this division, and it's cost them to have deer in the headlights when they get to October, and then they run into a hot team like the Diamondbacks or the Padres or the Braves. I like that the Dodgers are going to have to earn it this year. And I think Andrew Friedman put this team in a great position to go win a World Series. We'll see how it pans out, obviously, in the coming months. But for right now, good job, Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomez on this trade deadline. And we'll see how it continues. And that's going to do it for me. That's it. I'm telling you, I'm going to be quick. I'm not going to be on here very long. Mainly because I can only talk to myself for so long into a camera. But unless anything significant happens in the next couple weeks, you won't hear from me until September, when hopefully the Dodgers have another NL West crown and we can start getting into the postseason, looking at postseason matchups, and looking, hopefully, into a deep October run. But for now, I'll see you next time. Adios.